Hello everybody and welcome back to 539 Productions. So today I am back in this little ghost town that I had came to back last year around September, and this ghost town is partially flooded, and I had said that I was going to come back when the waters were low enough to actually go out and see some of the ruins. And it hasn't been raining for a while, and I noticed that the reservoir was down, so I think I might be able to get out there and see some of these ruins that are at the beach line, and some of the foundations of the old houses. And right now I'm actually on the main drag leading to the old abandoned city. I'm going to start heading this way towards the water line. And you can see this time that the road is actually completely exposed and not underwater at all. And all of this here was flooded the last time that I tried to come here. And so I had to partially wade through the water out to this little place right here, which was really an island at the time. Wow. Even the other side, which was pretty much only accessible by boat, is completely dried up. You couldn't even get a boat here now. So we should be able to see almost everything. You can even see here, this is part of looks like an old toilet. Definitely some porcelain. So this part right here would be approximately about 8 to 10 feet underwater normally. Right now this would have been completely underwater, and I was walking right up along this section right here. This is absolutely incredible, especially after all these recent floods. I was never expecting to be able to actually get here and stand in the middle of this. I figured it'd still be flooded and I would need the GoPro to actually see anything at all, except for maybe just the smallest little piece of foundation. And now I'm thinking I might be able to actually, yeah, I think I'm seeing the foundations here. Definitely looks like some man-made structures up ahead. So I'm currently walking on the lake bed, which was flooded by a dam really near here. And right now, these structures that I'm coming upon are some of the old foundations for the buildings. And this is actually right here a section of road that would have ran through the town. And again, normally this would be completely underwater. I think you can see one person in a boat out there where it's actually deep enough. This is the town of Monument City and all that is left of it. And these were the structures that I was trying to find the last time that I came out. I'm not sure exactly what kind of metal this is or what it was used for. It looks like some kind of sheet metal, maybe for siding or something. But here you can see this whole structure here was the side of a larger building. Let's try and get a view here from a little bit deeper. So you can imagine normally, and even in the video last time, if you go back and look at the old video, which I'll include the link to the old video, you can see that all of this was underwater, so I'd be almost 15 to 20 feet underwater right now. And it's such a strange feeling standing here right now, just knowing how deep I would have been the last time I was here, and knowing that all of this was hidden underneath that dark, muddy water. And just incredible that these things still exist. And I mean, even though the level of decay is so high, it's just really, really neat to look at. And from this side, you can see all of the bricks that would have been used to build this building. And you know it would have been such an amazing place back in the day. I'm not sure what would have stood here, but you can tell it was at one time a pedestal for something else to sit on, possibly a street lamp, or who knows. And what's incredible is last time I couldn't get any closer than those trees right there. So I'm about 200 feet offshore right now, maybe a little bit less. And still, the feeling is very eerie. We're gonna go ahead and continue this journey on over in this direction and see what other types of structures and remnants of structures that we can find. Why are you seeing this? I'm not sure exactly what it was. Looks like it had some sort of exhaust pipe coming out of it. Or maybe it might have just been like the base for like a flagpole. And you can see another piece of some sort of hand-carved or man-made structure. See, right here is another large pile of bricks. And you can even see these little fixtures here. I'm not sure what they would have been used for. If you know, let me know in the comments below. It might have been to hold some, it looks like it may have held like a bar in between them. Possibly to hold something else up. I don't know what it would have been. Alright, let's keep venturing down a little bit further here. Looks like there's still some running water up ahead, which would normally be about 40 feet higher than what it is right now. And you can see definitely some pieces here that would have been maybe foundations. And this is by no means an uncommon thing. And in fact, a lot of these reservoirs around the nation actually have similar towns like this that have been completely buried underneath the waters, and the residents were forced to move out and a lot of times leave their homes behind. In very few cases you see the actual structures move to another location, but in places like this, the residents were literally told to pack up and move, and then their entire home and everything around it was flooded underneath all of this water in order to create this extremely large reservoir out of a small river. You can even see pieces of glass that might have once been window panes. I'm not 100% sure, but I can't think of any other reason that there'd be flat paned glass in the area. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and keep moving here. I see a few other structures, at least pieces of it here and there, and we'll see what all we can find in this area. There might be some more in another area or across that little tributary that I was just beside, but I'm gonna try and cover this area first, and then maybe we'll hike over there if I have time. I definitely want to get some more locations in today, but this is definitely my biggest and best of the day, to try and find the actual remains of this ghost town. And so I'm really happy that I was able to get out here and do it and get where I wasn't able to get to last time. This tree is absolutely insane looking. And you can see there's even some remnants of the town right next to it. Might have been growing in somebody's backyard at one time. Oh wow. It almost looks like pieces of graves, just the way the shape is. I don't know that it actually is. It almost looks like it has a spike driven into it, and you can see where there would have been other holes. It's really kind of sad in a way, because this is all that's left in a lot of cases. I don't think there's any full structures left that you could actually go inside, because the floodwaters just took away absolutely everything except for these foundations, and it just leaves you here to guess exactly what it was. Of course, you can go online and do your research and find some of the older photos possibly of this area, and I definitely want to do that as well, but it's so strange being in a place like this. A very extreme version of Mad Max. And then, of course, all these hawks are circling me right now. And it's difficult to tell way across the reservoir. In one of my travel vlogs, I believe, I was standing on this cliff over here, and that's where I ended up ending that day's vlog, in the sunset there. And you can see we're actually coming up on the natural shoreline right now. Alright, so we are once again following this road out into the middle of what is now the reservoir, well past the island that I began on last time when I was walking through the water in my boots. Up ahead here, we're actually re-entering the solid section of the road. There's actually, as I showed you earlier, some people across the way that seem to be just sitting there staring at me. Not sure exactly why. You can see that the road would have curved here. And here are some more of the ruins of the foundations of Monument City. You can even see, it looks like a sidewalk here. And I wasn't really expecting the ruins to go out this far, but it's evidently really hard to see over some of the little hills that have formed underneath the water, and so I'm still actually able to walk further and further, and right now I'm about a football field away from what was the shoreline the last time that I was out here, and I can still even see more stuff. I can almost cross the entire reservoir right now. This feels really weird and kind of eerie. You can see there's a bottle that's buried in the sand there. Here's another structure coming up. Oh, and you can even see this would have been somebody's old fire pit right here. Wow, that's almost that's really sad. And this here would have been a piece of like decorative pottery or something. It's starting to get really muddy and I'm starting to sink a little bit, so I'm gonna get back to a little bit firmer of ground. And you can even see right here where pipe work would have gone. I can see glass from old bottles. I can see brickwork. More pottery. See, this structure here is actually in fairly good condition for being underwater for so long. You can get a really good indication of where the walls were and where the floors began. I don't know, these actually might have been part of an old clay drainage system. And I just found this too. And it's another section of old drainage pipe that would have been used for the road system. All three of these people are still, looks like maybe even four of them are still just standing over there. Not sure if those are maybe from actual hunters that have been here recently and firing off their boats, or old ones. I really doubt it's old shotgun cartridges that have been buried at the bottom of this reservoir. I don't know what these are a part of. There's some sort of metal stakes anchored into the ground. It's possible it might be for boats. There's really no type of public access to the reservoir from this side. It's pretty much all sealed off except for foot traffic. So thanks to everybody that has watched this episode of 539 Productions. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, since we are doing this adventure 3 to 4 times every single week and coming out to amazing, abandoned, and adventurous locations just like this one here today. And if you want to check out the behind the scenes on journeys like this, make sure to check out my second channel, My Story, for lots of adventures on the back end of 539 Productions, as well as snippets from my daily life. And I hope to see you all in the next adventure.